Yeah, and that's how I was falsely accused of being Pablo Escobar. So welcome back to Fat Jack Sunday Service. It's been quite some time since I've sat here and recorded a podcast. It may not look like that much time, but actually, I've been dying of some strange illness. Could be that hantavirus, you don't know. But I'm back. I'm back to full fitness. And yeah, it's summer, isn't it? It's too fucking hot. Now, I don't mind a bit of hot weather, but the real part of the summer which I don't like is the sweaty testicular issues that you have as a man or woman. Women, apparently, if you're on the left, women can have a sweaty testicle and sweaty shaft. If you're just left thinking, that is. Sweaty penises all round and skid marked underpants. That's it's part of summer, which you go and do your morning business in the. It's hot in the morning anyway, isn't it? You go and do your business, and you sat there. You do all your roaming and grunting and shunting. Do your wiping. And I don't know about anyone else, but I will wipe until it is as dry as the Sahara. Then you start walking around 10 minutes later, and she's damp. You go, what in the fuck? I've always thought I had a brown Crayola, stuck outside of my bumhole, because it's just unreal. You can wipe and wipe and wipe and wipe until you cannot wipe no more. And the Lord said he shall wipe no more. And yeah, 10 minutes later, that's it. It's just straight back to fucking poo everywhere. So yeah, there's that, skid marks, sweaty testicles, all that business. It's just all part of summer, isn't it? I really enjoy the winter more than summer. Do I enjoy the winter? No, I enjoy a particular time. When it's not like -5 or -6, but when it's just like 5 degrees, because to me that's warm enough to wear shorts. You wear shorts and a hoodie. You're nice and you're not hot, but you're not cold. You're just on the cusp, and that is it's a privilege to be on the cusp of temperature. People take it for granted just being okay, which is that's why I bought an aircon unit for my bedroom, because I can't sleep when it's hot. It's just put me in Guantanamo Bay, torture me, and that's the same to me as sleeping in a hot bedroom, because at some point your fan stops working and it just starts blowing hot air or recirculating guff all around the room, so it's hot and now it stinks of shit, and then either you'll fart again and then it's double guff, triple guff, just guff floating around the room, guff everywhere. Summertime guff. I think that's a song by Lana Del Rey. So yeah, what's been happening in the world news? I don't know, let's ask ChatGPT. What's the current news? Can we be that sort of vague? Here's some of the biggest stories making headlines today. Oh. SpaceX launched the latest version of its Starship rocket in Texas during a major test flight aimed at future Mars missions. Now, that is pretty cool, that, isn't it? I would like to be one of them people to be the first person on Mars, because I'd like a particular title of, like what will I be remembered for? Will it be this podcast? Will it be my YouTube videos? Or could it be of Fat Jack was the first person to shoot a load on Mars? I want to be the first man in history to have a wank on Mars. Which I also think is a David Bowie song, isn't it? Wank on Mars. Yeah, can you imagine, like, the history books, textbooks, ChatGPT, the news, everything is just focused on me cracking one out on Mars. It's actually they're living the dream, isn't it? Some, like, what was he called? Your man from bloody. Oh no, he was called. He like wiped out half the Earth and cleaned up the environment by doing it. I can't remember what he was called now. He's one of my favourite dictators anyway. He was like Mongolian. Anyway, I'll come back to that one. But yeah, so that is really my life goal, is to be the first man to have a wank on Mars. So at least we're making steps now, and it launches the biggest rocket in there, so that's pretty cool. In football, I don't care. NATO tensions are rising after warnings from US officials about increasing Russian pressure on the Baltic region. Reports also mention a drone incident near Estonia and new troop movements in Poland. I don't really understand what's going on, bar all that fucking Ukraine and Russia shit, which I just fed up of hearing about. I don't really care. Yeah, drone incident. That reminds me, for everyone watching or listening, you are looking at a certified pilot of the drone, of the drone category. I had to take a test. The first test I've taken since I did my theory test for my motorbike licence 2 years ago, which I've just not bothered doing. But I took a test and I passed first time because I am a professional. Everyone knows this by now. I'm a professional and I'm now a pilot. Yes, it's a drone pilot, but technically I can still call myself a pilot, and I will be calling myself a pilot. Everyone who talks to me, I now make them refer to me as a pilot. Because I think, yeah, why not? I've put the hours in, the 10 minutes it took for me to revise the test. I've put the work in. Like, I'm a bit like Maverick from Top Gun. I don't know what he does in Top Gun because I've never watched 1 or 2. All I know is he had a Kawasaki H2, I think, in there. That is literally the only thing I know about Top Gun. So yeah, you can call me Maverick, or Fat Jack Maverick, Maverick Fat Jack. Any other things, and yeah. So that's what you can call me, Maverick. In the UK economy, government borrowing rose sharply while retail sales weakened. Who would have thought that? You keep pushing up wages for everyone, which means shops have got to put up prices of things. And who would have thought that it doesn't sort of go hand in hand? It's a bit out of kilter because we're living under a fucking daft government who don't seem to understand finance. So yeah, we'll keep hoping and praying that we have a general election, because Jesus Christ, what a fumbling! Shall we ask Chatters GPS, how bad have Labour fumbled the local elections? Did that even without being able to see what I was typing there. I'm not professional. So this is ChatGPT. So this before anyone says like, oh, it's biased, it's this, it's that. This ChatGPT and AI theoretically should only look at facts and figures, and you can't sort of you can only read facts and figures one way, and facts and figures tell the truth. So ChatGPT, according to this, says, so I've asked ChatGPT, how bad have Labour fumbled the local elections? And it says, pretty badly. Though how badly depends on the benchmark you use. The short version is that Labour Party didn't just have a normal mid-term government losses local moment. The scale and geography of losses have triggered genuine panic inside the party because they were hit from both directions at once. Reform UK smashed them in a lot of working class and post-industrial areas. I wonder why. Doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. Green Party of England and Wales ate into them heavily in cities, university towns and progressive areas. Again, fucking anyone anyone that is considering voting green, I would like you to turn this podcast off, even if it's on a laptop, a phone, tablet. Turn this off. Go and have a word with yourself and slide whatever implement you're using to listen to this podcast. Slide it up your rectum dry. Because anyone that thinks that voting the Greens in is a good idea, you're a psychopath. I don't really want to talk too much about politics on it, and I'm not. And before it like gets in there, and it's like, oh, right wing. I'm not right wing. I don't fully agree with reform, but I don't see any other option. Because for the last however many years, or however many decades, we basically have been shitting our pants and changing our t-shirt, haven't we? There's a problem there that needs to change, and maybe reform have got the best way to do it. I don't know, but I think it's time we had a change, just not to the Green Party. And then the Liberal Democrats kept squeezing them in southern England. Well, that's they drink shandy down there, don't they? So the numbers were rough. Labour reportedly lost around 1,200 to 1,500 councillors and dozens of councils. That sounds like a lot. Reform gained roughly the same number that Labour lost, going from almost no local base to controlling multiple councils. That can only be a good thing. Labour lost control of long-held councils in parts of the North West and Midlands that were once considered safe territory. That's how bad this is going for it, isn't it? The politically dangerous part of a Kier Starmer is that this wasn't a single clean narrative. Normally, Labour can explain losses as we lost left-wing voters but held the centre, or we lost patriotic older voters but kept progressives. This time they bled everywhere. One of the more striking analyses found Labour actually lost more support to the Greens than to Reform overall, almost a 4-to-1 ratio in some data sets. That suggests a chunk of Labour's 2024 coalition thinks the government is too cautious, technocratic or right-leaning. How the fuck can they say the government is right-leaning? You couldn't get any further left. At the same time, Reform is wrecking Labour in some older industrial areas by hammering themes like immigration, anti-Westminster elite messaging, cost of living, and cultural grievance politics. That combination is strategically horrible because the fixes contradict each other. Move left, risk losing reform-facing voters. Move tougher right, lose more urban progressive voters. There's also structural issue. Britain increasingly looks like a 5-party system, not a Labour versus Tory one anymore. That makes coalitions harder to hold together. So we can pretty wholeheartedly look at that and go, Kier Starmer has absolutely fucked that, and how is he still in power? Because all the news reports you see keep saying like, no one's got any confidence in Starmer. Andy Burnham wants to challenge him. Wes Streeting wants to challenge him. Surely, at some point, you would just go, maybe we'll call it a day if you're Kier Starmer, and we'll let someone else take over just to try and save the Labour Party. But maybe he's that much of a sort of head in the sand person that he still thinks he's doing a great job. That thing of it's everything. That is it a meme where it's like everything's fine yet everything's on fire around him because in front of him he can't see any fire. So yeah, that's my little bit on politics and news today. There's also famous NASCAR driver Kyle Busch died. That's pretty sad. Like I said a couple of episodes ago, I've been sort of getting into the NASCAR at the moment. It only seems to be the rounds that Cletus McFarlane's driving in, but I've been getting into the NASCAR a bit more. I'm actually finding it quite interesting, and like the history behind it. So yeah, to see someone like him die, it's pretty sad, really. So yeah, but I think we can move on to the thing that everyone will have seen, and as per usual, I sort of roll with the last week's news 3 weeks later type of thing, and that's MotoGP round at Catalunya. Now, it's really what everyone should be talking about is the fact that Fabio Di Giannantonio took his second win of his career there, but unfortunately it's just overshadowed by that's on the screen. That was something else, wasn't it? Let's see. Yeah, look at them. Let's see if I can get the video of it up on here, just for people watching. MotoGP wrap. Let's just see if I can be that vague, because it's been the talk. Oh, here we go. So,
oh dearie me, Acosta on a problem. This is a red flag. Something out the Pedro.
that is fucking nuts. Whoa. That is, I think we should have it one more time, I reckon, just for...
Oh, dearie me. Acosta on a problem. This is red flag.
That's one of the the worst. It's one of the worst crashes I've seen for quite some time, and thankfully, when you look at how bad that is, thankfully, everyone's sort of come off relatively unscathed, because that shouldn't have been. It shouldn't. Sorry about that, everyone. It shouldn't. That should have been much worse. It's a dangerous sport as it is. Let alone when something happens like that. It's a miracle that. I know Alex Marquez didn't walk away, but from what I read, I believe he was out of hospital within 48 hours walking. I think he had again. Don't trust me for your actual news. I believe he's got a broken collarbone and a broken vertebrae in his neck, which that man is. They were, from what I've been heard about it, is he hit the back of Acosta at around about 130, 140 mile an hour, to then thunder cunt himself into the back of Acosta, and then run wide, and then somehow get the bike turned, and get the bike turned, and then sort of bail out. That, you look at this picture here, it is ridiculous. I don't know if we can zoom in or not. I'm not that clever, but look at that there. I can't remember seeing the last time I saw a motorbike explode like that. There's some big crashes at the TT sometimes, and I bet you some of the bikes come off better than that. That just absolutely fucking exploded. It's absolute madness. And this is another thing which I always gauge how bad a crash is if the visor comes off. Because that's a whole nother ball game, isn't it? Which I actually haven't heard anyone talk about, but the speed that he's going through that gravel trap, and the gravel that he's either flicking up or could get caught in his helmet, he could have fucking blinded himself. The velocity that he'll be travelling at, and then to get stone fucking cunt him in the eye, that would, oh man, it doesn't even bear thinking about, does it? I think, the sport is they try to make it as safe as possible, don't they? But I know accidents happen, but surely that the visor shouldn't come open on the helmet. Like, they need to do something. Because the helmets are supposed to be FIM homologated. Surely they need to do some more testing on visors, because that is, it's just bad, isn't it? How many times you see crashes where the visor comes off? And these are helmets that they're not. If it was a helmet that was like 30, 40 quid from J&S, not saying that J&S sells shit helmets, but they do have cheap helmets there. If it was one of them, the helmet flew off, you'd understand. But that helmet's probably 1,500 quid to a normal punter, isn't it? And you're risking the visor coming off. It doesn't really seem safe to me. But, you know, and then not only did he do that, but then Digi takes nearly the whole front section of the bike. He said in an interview that he just sort of slammed on his brakes and tried to tuck in, as if the plastic screen's going to do anything to stop the whole front end of a bike hitting him. So yeah, I'm glad to see Alex Marquez walk away. I'm glad to see that he's still sort of alive and kicking after that, because that was a big one. And then, if that wasn't bad enough, we have the second restart, which I've got queued up here. So yeah, let's have a watch of this.
Jorge Martin, who makes another stunning start on factory of Brilliant. He drops in behind Pedro Acosta. Trump is going to wait well. We're on the number 36 factory Honda. He's going to try to second place. Red flag once again. No choice but to stop this. No choice.
Bastard! Should have watched that beforehand, shouldn't I? Let me try and find it.
Johan Zarco. He's just going to miss his braking marker here, isn't he? On the outside of Luca Marini he goes. Oh, it's...
Oh, you fucking cunt. Where is it? This could be it. I should have really prepared this beforehand, shouldn't I? That's how. Yeah, here we go. Fucking hell. What? Just again, watch out. Absolutely unreal, isn't it? How it's how on earth that Frenchman got away with that. I think he has injured his leg quite bad. Let's ask ChatGPT. What did Zarco suffer any injuries from Catalunya? See what this comes up with. So, yes, after the restart crash at the 2026 Catalunya MotoGP, Johan Zarco suffered several injuries through fortunately nothing considered life-threatening or career-ending. Reports have said he had ligament injuries in his knee, including ACL and PCL damage and meniscus involvement, a small fracture/tear near the fibula at his left ankle, and heavy bruising and trauma after his leg became trapped in the back of the Ducati. Zarco himself said he was more scared than hurt and confirmed his femur was not broken. That is another absolute miracle that he hasn't got a broken femur, a fucking leg that's not fallen off, or even fucking dead, because what are they going to be? What does a MotoGP bike weigh? What does a MotoGP bike weigh? So 157 kilograms. So he was stuck in the back end of one of them that was cartwheeling through a gravel trap. So that's 157 kilograms smacking up and down on him, onto his knee, onto his leg, as he's pirouetting through a gravel trap. That could have gone so much worse, that. I mean, you know it's bad when you saw Marini and Banyaya's, I can never say his name. I can say it until I start recording. When you see Pecco and Marini's reaction you know, you got to remember as well, the pair of them have just been thundercunted to oblivion. They've absolutely fucking washing machined themselves through a gravel trap, and they both get up and they both run straight over to him, and they've got the hands on the head. I wonder if I can find a picture of that. Zarco crash. You know, it's quite. It's one of them that you watch and you go, oh shit. Just seeing their reaction, you know it's bad. Is that it there? Yeah, kind of. They were both stood there, weren't they? And they both sort of, apparently he was screaming his head off. And they both sort of were stood there like, oh my god, he's fucking dead. Yeah, so. And then for both of them as well, Pecco and Marini to do another start after that. It's I take my hat off to him. I'm not a huge Pecco Bagnaia fan. I've said that wrong again. I'm not a huge fan of his, but you've also got to take your hat off and go, you've got some fucking knackers on you, John. Spanish John. No, yeah, is he Spanish? Italian John. Spanish or Italian John. You've got some knackers to go through that and then jump back on the bike and carry on and do another race start. I full respect. Yeah, I hope everyone sort of recovers quick enough. But I tell you what, I don't have respect for. Let's see if we can find this as well. I shouldn't really use TikTok as my video source, should I? Because at some point there's just going to be some fucking thirst trap come up. Jorge Martin pit box incident.
Martin, when he had just dismounted his factory, coming back in after an early run out on circuit here this afternoon.
No, once again, I look like a twat. Is it this one?
Maybe an unfriendly tap coming in. It is. Down. Raul Fernandez.
And also, when I first watched that, I thought that that was Fernandez's fault. But when you watch a couple of different angles, Martin would have easily seen Fernandez's front wheel there. And I don't know if he's like trying to assert Spanish dominance over him, like trying to fucking bend him over and shove a chorizo up his bumhole and go, no, I'm the factory Aprilia rider, you don't come underneath me, I'm just going to fucking lean on you and then crash.
A little bit premature, I want to say it's a double DNF for Jorge Martin, but this is a big talking point, a big controversial moment in this year's MotoGP World Challenge, because has that once again denied Jorge Martin the chance to lead this year's championship?
This is inexcusable to me. If Martin was 9-10 years old, maybe you could excuse it slightly, but this is a grown man paid £3 million a year to ride this Aprilia on for a team as well, where last year there was that big slagging match, wasn't there, where he didn't want to ride for them. He said the bike was shit, he wanted to get out of his contract, and this team have done nothing but stand by him and nurture him to get him back to a place where he's able to sort of come back and start winning races. So yeah, this is absolutely inexcusable behaviour to me. Martin. Let's have a watch.
He is absolutely raging.
The thing is, it's another.
What a cunt. You don't do that, do you? Oh, why on earth you think it's a good idea to come in? I know your adrenaline's flowing and everything's heightened, and I've had experience myself. I can remember I did the British mini bike series in 2018. And bear in mind, the class I was in was Chinese pit bikes that probably did 75 mile an hour. And you're not racing for money, you're not racing for MotoGP championships. You're racing a Chinese pit bike, and two grown men had some sort of clash while out on track. And one man came in, he jumped off his bike, he dropped the bike on the floor, and he had an AGV carbon fibre helmet. Now, they probably cost as much as the little pit bike he's racing. And he came in and he slapped the helmet on the floor and then started kicking off at this other bloke and scrapping. And I just, I fucking hate it, Fucking grow up. How old are you? So yeah, especially for Martin to go and do that, it's you can't help but think you are some little fucking privileged, spoilt brat, aren't you? You fucking chorizo. He's eaten too much chorizo. He's stuck too many fucking chorizo sausages up his ass and thinks that he's untouchable to then go and start shoving your team round. Well, come and fucking shove me, mate, because I'll fucking show you. You little fucking Spanish sausage, mate. So that was MotoGP. Very eventful field, and again, it's a shame that Digi won't get the recognition that he deserves, because he deserves lots for winning that race, with a potentially broken hand, because I did notice he never took his glove off. So, yeah, fair play. And I think, while we've got a couple of minutes to finish off, there's been a couple of rounds of British Superbikes. That's been, I was going to say, it's been good, but it's not been as exciting as what it usually is. I don't want to take anything away from Kyle Ryde, because I think what he's doing is brilliant, but I don't know, it just seems to be missing something. What that something is, I don't know. But Alton Park, Kyle Ryde won. He won race 1 by 6 seconds. He won race 2 by 2 seconds, and race 3 by 1 second. Now, I know he did have to work for it in the last couple of races. So yeah, and it was nice to see sort of a round go. It was better than what happened at Alton Park last year. We all know what happened then. So it was nice for everything to go well. Then we had Donington Park as well. Race 1, that was won by Scott Redding. So it was good to see him back up on the top box. I went off him for a couple of years. Don't know why. But yeah, I think he's the boy, isn't he? He's we need more characters like him in the sport. So he won race 1, and then Kyle Ryde must have gone, right, let's fucking pull my finger out here, John, and get this Ducati stoked up, and won race 1 and race 2. So yeah, that's kind of a roundup. We haven't had any conspiracy theories. I think we'll do some conspiracy theories next week. See how weird we can get into. I am still trying to set up the WhatsApp to send me voice notes. I'm just retarded. I keep saying I'm going to do stuff, and then my ADHD brain kicks in and I start doing it. I've got a phone for it, so that's a good start. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. You've been watching Fat Jack's Sunday Service. Hopefully be able to get one with my standing co-host who comes in every now and then. Stuart will get one of them soon. He's going off to go and sweat in a caravan now, so it won't be for a couple of weeks. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.